see a little bit of that there.
I just think for BDD, he's had some decent games of Victor, right, in his past, but BDD to me has always been the player who could take over a game, can control it from minute 1 to minute 35, you know, and even sometimes past that if required. But my point is beginning to end. Playmaker. You put him on Victor in this meta, in this draft, and he's like, you've neutered one of your most powerful players, if not your most powerful player. So, you know, score set, they might keep playing Jiwoo if it works out. They are playing him effectively, paraphrasing, because he has more LCK experience that Fenrir doesn't have, but I didn't see it in game 1. We'll see what happens here in game 2. Both Orianna and Nocturne banned on the same side here by Dplus Kia. As once again, Smash's Lucian will be denied, and we see the Jarvan as the final ban.
Yeah, Jarvan is fine, and
he's pretty good.
Poppy, yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. Poppy wasn't banned in the first rotation last time around, and that's been a big target ban for a lot of teams. So maybe we see them pick it up here in game 2. There were still a lot of strong picks in last game.
I think the space where they broke it down well in the pre-show today, the focus wasn't jungle in the early part of the draft in game 1, so the Poppy value was lower there. And right now, we're once again looking for a top-side winning matchup here with the blind Jayce. So perfect back-to-back blind picks here. The Olaf first, Jayce second. There's no answering Olaf this time. There's no answering Kled. There is, however, potential Yorick angle. So,
yeah, I think it's really helpful when you have a top laner who can just get a couple of big blind picks and you trust him to do so. I don't know if it's always the right choice in terms of draft priority to go for the top laner, but at least in the, you know, Olaf and the Jayce, it definitely is. Bard going to be locked in.
Maokai is no longer globally banned, but I don't know if that's necessarily what you want to grab here as Dplus. For the Lucid, Lee Sin as the second pick here.
They make Kate Lux if they really want to take Caitlyn away. Otherwise, it might be the third pick.
It could be. I like to grab the Cassante early. It's still, if they go for their bottom duo here, this is a rare situation. We almost never see this with top and bottom lane fully locked going to the second ban phase, but it looks like that's where we're headed with the Ziggs and Nautilus. So Caitlyn, I think 1,000%, especially considering how good Smash is at the pick, just feels like a no-brainer. Instead, if you get this now, then you won't get the Caitlyn lane, but you'll still win lane probably with almost anything you pick. Syndra, I'm a little bit less of a fan of here.
That's funny. I'm actually a little bit more of a fan of the Syndra.
Than Caitlyn?
Just a little bit. Oh, no, than the Lock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am much more of a fan of the Syndra than the Lock.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh.
But, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I would have liked to see the Caitlyn. Instead, it's Sivir. So, just wanting a little bit more safety against the lockdown of the Nautilus and the burst of the Ziggs, I suppose.
Some of the bursts of the Jayce as well can be spell shielded.
Yeah. All right. I'm okay with it.
Now we're banning Poppy. As we're going to start picking some junglers. Not going to be picking Lee Sin, though. Ban Poppy. KT know what that means. It means
what does it mean?
It means they want to play Lee Sin without steadfast presence, annoying everything that Lee Sin's trying to do, Valdes. That's what it means.
I see.
I think you knew what it meant as well. I think you're just trying to
the way you said it was like, we all know what that means. We might just see a Naafiri pop out here. I think Naafiri can be really good into KT's comp.
What about Vi for KT Rolster?
Did we forget about Vi?
No, I mean, I think Vi's pretty weak right now, but I think for what KT have put together, I think it's pretty good. They have a Nautilus and a Ziggs. They've got a lot of burst damage to follow up on it.
It's Lucid?
It's Lucid.
Or
on the other side, so you probably want to deny this from Lucid. Maybe he picks it here. But this comp isn't really a Vi comp, so I hope not. It's not really an Naafiri comp either. It's more of a Xin Zhao, which isn't available comp.
Yeah.
Or a Jarvan, which isn't available comp. So,
or a Sejuani.
They're just going to do the deny Vi.
Divine?
Devi.
Oh. I just never heard it said before, so I was saying it wrong.
Otherwise, often reversed as Viden.
Interesting.
No, it's never been reversed that way before.
There's
So we're gonna play
Naafiri.
Naafiri and Devi. By the way, Naafiri a great counter pick to Vi because she can just go jumpy, and then Devi is not doing the thing that Devi wants to do, and they end up with the Annie. So there's a lot of first and lockdown in this draft for KT. And one of the weaknesses of a lot of Naafiri comps is that the Naafiri doesn't have CC, but they have CC everywhere else. Taliyah making Valdes put his face on the table. He's not a big fan of this pick right now.
ShowMaker
doesn't look like he's a fan of this pick right now either.
It's just slowly squeezed its way back into the meta. We see it so often in a Rise, which theoretically makes sense. It just hasn't had a lot of success.
Okay.
But it's Taliyah Vi. And that's the other combo.
Bard Taliyah, you can follow up on the Tempered Fate. I think it's not there's not a global on the other side, so you can control the map a little bit. As long as you play the laning phase well and the BDD's Annie, you should have a lot of agency this game. I don't dislike this Taliyah as much as the one that we saw in Kespa Cup yesterday.
There have been some really
we were very
dank Taliyah angles.
We were very much like, I don't think that's it. But today it looks like it's kind of it. I think it makes sense because the Vi pick also didn't really. It felt like a denial, right? The Devi we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But now at least it's got a combo. Now it's got some setup here with the Bard ultimate. The Bard ultimate gets more value. You know what? I think with this comp, Dplus can make Taliyah look valuable. I think so. On the other side, they didn't pick the Caitlyn, but they still have a strong lane into this Nautilus. So KT have a losing lane in the bottom side. Will they be able to get the Ziggs out of lane to do the boom boom? We'll have to wait and see.
Definitely one of the goals of this composition, but as you said, we got to see the execution. DK versus KT, game number 2.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
All right, we're here in game 2. After our first series went to 3 games, we were expecting to go to 6 total on the day. But honestly, after game 1, I'm like, I don't know. I think KT look a little flat.
A little flat?
Yeah, like they came out flat. They're not...
Like they've been sitting on the shelf too long?
What? Oh, like a soda?
Like a soda, yeah.
You haven't heard that term, though? Like in sports, you came out flat? Meaning like you didn't come out
I'm just
sharp.
I'm messing with you.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
I know what you meant. Like
I thought
like a flat note, kind of,
yeah.
except in terms of their play overall. Just didn't really.
Yeah. Not showing a lot of energy, right? Just kind of come out looking a little flat. And
I didn't think you meant that they actually were like looking like pancakes or something like that, or like a flounder.
Oh, pancakes are great, though. Are you a pancakes or a waffle guy?
Waffles, 1,000%.
Yeah, I remember I went with you to Atlanta one time, and we went to Waffle House.
Yeah.
It was really good. I used to be a pancake guy, but I've changed as I've gotten older. I think I've seen the light. Pancakes are still really good, but I think waffles do have the slight edge.
I think the big advantage to pancakes is you don't need a machine, right? If you're making it, you don't need the press. It's just you pour it into the pan, right? The pancake mix.
Oh, I thought you were saying that's the advantage that waffles has.
No, that's what pancakes. That's what pancakes have over waffles, right? You don't need the press. You don't need the tool.
Yeah, but the tool is so much better, right? Because cooking pancakes is actually very annoying if you want to cook them well, because you have to keep the heat really low.
Yeah.
And you have to cook it for a long time, otherwise the middle doesn't cook, and then or you like burn the outside, and then it's really rubbery. It's rough. And
that's why.
That's why you just eat bagel bites.
No, whoa. I mean, bagel bites when I was a child were very good.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the day, it was like, oh, I could try to cook a pancake myself.
Are you going to be a bagel bites father, Valdes?
No.
I don't have time to get your breakfast ready, Bryce. Eat your bagel bite. No, I knew the answer was no, but I just had to,
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure there will be some convenience food
Bagel bites were a plague on society because children everywhere were like, man, I don't get bagel bites because my parents are making healthy food for me instead.
Yeah.
And they always wanted the bagel bites, and then the parents were like, well, he wants it. As this wasn't supposed to happen.
Smash in a lot of trouble here. He's still going to get hooked, and he does flash away. He will survive.
That also wasn't supposed to happen. Jiwoo has no mana. So unless he wants to flash short fuse here.
I think Effort has to be a little careful, actually, with a full health and decent amount of mana Bard. But now, with a Naafiri coming over and no flash on Smash, might look for something here. Perhaps onto Career, who's just going to flash away and play it respectfully.
All right, well. They
made us talk about the game, Wolf.
They did not, metaphorically speaking, get the bagel bites here.
Yeah.
And they didn't get anything healthy either.
They were forced to boil some pasta. Eat it with salt and butter instead.
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of this game, I think the ingredients just aren't prepped. Like, I think they might need some bagel bites. Like, I mean, is Annie basically the bagel bites of League of Legends, you know?
That's a good point.
It's quick and
I
easy.
think it is, yeah.
And it tastes really good when you win.
It serves a purpose. It's not, you know, it's not fancy. It just gets the job done. And that's what bagel bites are, you know? Short, sweet, to the point, you know, flash tibbers, my job here is done. Yeah. I put the bagel bites in the microwave. My job here is done.
Exactly.
Now I need to burn the top of my mouth as well, but you know that's not really the fault of the bagel bites. I blame that on the microwave, personally.
What is going on with Satchels today?
Career, please.
If Lehen can get satcheled, then Career can get satcheled. 2 for 2 on supports getting satcheled in the early game and ruining the lane prio, because now the lane prio is ruined. It's burnt like the outside of a pancake. Look, Career, here's the problem is he goes into a specific location where the enemy knows where he'll land, and so Jiwoo turns the heat up and the edge of the pancake. No, that wasn't really where I was going with that. That's not the right analogy for the pancake.
It's okay.
There's the bagel bite.
Yep. It burns. It does. And, yeah, you saw that Career had a very visceral, physical reaction on the camera after that happened. It's just a mistake. He knows it. Jiwoo's like, oh, free food, okay. So, Jiwoo's feeling pretty good about that. And now Effort is able to come up here to the top lane. Jiwoo's not having the most fun so far against the Jayce.
Not the most. But not the least either we've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's no jungle attention, really, so. Cuzz, speaking of jungle, is looking for another burnt pancake.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Career's just dead again. Very nice setup here from KT in the jungle.
Just no information here for Dplus about where Cuzz is. He has level 6. And, I mean, ShowMaker's going to try to turn this into something, but Effort should be fine. He's just going to dredge line away. All right, I'm done with the metaphors here for now, I think.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. It was starting to get a bit flat, to go back to the original conversation. It was hitting until it was flat, and now it's flat, and so now it's done. So, Dplus find themselves 1,000 gold behind in an early game where they had full control. And right here, Vi's in base. Cuzz very aware that if anyone comes over here, they die. And Career's like, well, I don't have that much information.
Top lane, Jiwoo, though, is going to run straight into Effort, who is making the top laner's life miserable and saves Perfect's life.
Effort's he's doing the whole thing. He's doing the whole game. He's impacting all the lanes. And Dplus just don't seem to have the answer right now, as an all-in angle there completely falls on its face. I don't know exactly how we got there, but my guess is Perfect kind of baited it by going into a trade there with Siwoo, where she was like, but I'm Cassante. He didn't consider. Effort was lurking.
Yeah, and that's Nautilus, my friend. Here's Taliyah Vi, but they're miles underneath the turret. Lucid's like, oh, okay, I'm going to flash away from that one. As BDD, good response from him. Decent wall here to try to save Lucid, but I don't know if it's going to work. He gets over the wall here, maybe a little execute angle. Or he could just do the Krugs.
Yeah, he's just going to do Krugs. He's not going to waste time with him because they want these grubs. So I guess this ends up being a small win for Dplus at the end of the day.
Just do the red buff too.
Yeah, and actually it's just going to get away with it because...
This is so stupid.
I mean, KT don't have prio in mid. I suppose the Jayce could have rotated over to try to help out, but wants to make sure Cuzz still has control over the grubs. So it's actually a really clever read here from Lucid.
Yeah, like Lucid knows he's doing grubs, but I guess Cuzz doesn't know that his red buff and Krugs are being stolen.
See what his reaction is when he finds out. I mean, he might know there's a possibility. I would say that's a pretty high chance.
Yeah.
So now it's Jiwoo actually goes in first. And they have full vision of the Vi, by the way. Like, look at where all the vision is in the enemy jungle. Effort just comes over here and takes him out. But Effort was, I guess, covering for a K'Sante all-in. What a clever move.
Wow.
Protecting perfect, knowing K'Sante was starting to get a little bit frisky up there. You're starting to get some of that armor. Starting to be able to trade. A little bit tougher now that this pickaxe is completed here for perfect. So it's not getting easier. It's not getting easier. Smash is like, well, I've got a call on 68 stacks, and we'll see what we get.
We'll see you in 40 minutes.
Effort is like, he's angling for POM, and they haven't even won a game yet.
Yeah. He's just everywhere. Prayer comes in, but that's Taliyah, so they're not going to be able to kill him for the next 48 hours. We do have Siwoo once again in trouble, as Cuzz is here. Just looking to poke him down a little bit before committing to the ults.
Doesn't even need it again.
Yeah.
And they give the kill over to Perfect. Serpent's Fang on the play. Not necessarily the strongest spike, but pretty effective item. Cost efficiency is high, as Lucid's going to come over here and find out they can't really do anything except get some of these minions with a little bit of cone action here. Oh! Tell them you're mad, Luce. Tell them how you really feel.
Yeah. Lucid was never going to go in, knew the doggo was there the whole time. And
this is turning into the last Dplus KT series, isn't it? Where it's just 3 one-sided games incoming.
Although, I don't know. I mean, this one is not in the bag just yet.
No, it's not in the bag, but the fries are in the fryer. Maybe.
Yeah. But, Wolf, this is Legend Group.
I know. I know. This feels a little bit like a boring version, a retelling of the tiebreaker match between Dplus and KT when neither of them were yet Legend nor Rise. As we're seeing both Rise and Legend elements to this game, I would say.
Yeah, we are.
If you know what I mean.
Kind of blurring the lines, you know, I feel like we do have set groups, but also the team's on the edge.
Is he just going to Tempered Fate? I don't think he should. Because, I mean, Lucid is coming over. Maybe they go for a contest here. This could be the back-breaking play if Dplus mess this up.
Yep. Looking for it. Might just come down to a smite fight as they're trying to get on top of Lucid. They will zone him away and get the Drake as well as a kill here once again onto the Bard. And now Lucid's stuck in the pit. They're trying to make something happen here with Smash. And they do take out Jiwoo, funnily enough. But here comes Cuzz. And eventually the Annie gets the kill onto the Taliyah. Very broken up fight here, but KT's still enjoying themselves. As eventually he gets close enough to ult. And...
Get him.
And...
Get him, Cuzz.
And... No way. He actually got away. Wow.
And then he also gets wolves. It's just like the escape on the top side of the map. He's like, yeah, I get away, and then I get these camps. This time it's his camp, so it's a little bit less, you know, a big thing. Career, I don't know about.
He's angry.
I think a lot of Dplus players and potentially fans are feeling the same way right now. As KT are going to be able to take this blue buff away. He got his wolves, but not the blue. Revenge of Cuzz. And that play on the dragon, it didn't end up being the game-losing play I was describing we could have seen if Dplus got completely routed here, but he gets ulted by Effort. Smash is early game Cull-wielding Sivir. So they just kind of ignore him overall. Jiwoo does get ulted here and gets taken out, but ShowMaker dies on the left side. It's so funny to watch like Smash just be literally ignored in this fight.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm at full health. I'm an AD carry. Are you guys going to chase me? No. So KT ended up trading there, grabbing the dragon. It's Ocean Soul. really fits the mood of this game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Little KT and Bro and Brew.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have 7 kills, but I think the fact that it's been very one-sided and we've had some very silly mistakes from Dplus Kia kind of leads you into a dreary feeling. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I still feel like DK have an in. They're definitely not too far behind, and they have a Sivir. And as much as I don't like Taliyah, you know, she can still kind of play bodyguard for the Sivir as the game comes along, and then you have the synergy with the Vi. So, you know, it kind of makes sense, and it's Lucid on the Vi, so it all comes together in the end. But this early game has been a bit of a disaster for Dplus Kia.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. They can stabilize, though. It's just going to take a lot of patience. And potentially a mistake from KT Rolster, right? If they overextend on the play, try to, you know, send a Jayce into an all-in, he gets cut up. ShowMaker has a lot of power. Not if he gets killed by effort here, though.
All right, the hook is going to miss. It's now going all in on a BDD, but they're going to go golden as here comes the Ziggs bomb from miles away. The knockback is good, so there's that synergy. Here comes Smash. He's like, oh, God, I need to run, as he just immediately flashes away and doesn't really do a whole lot. And they commit much harder to KT, and they win the fight.
This is the rare career Bard that doesn't hit, you know? It's not...
It's falling a little flat.
It's, yeah, I think, there you go. Burnt pancakes and all that.
Yeah.
Because he had the Magical Journey play early where he got satcheled and died. He hasn't had too many Tempered Fates, including on that Dragon fight that we had just moments ago, that have been impactful at all. This one felt like it saved the play for KT. So BDD initially here, after effort, whiffs this hook and puts himself in harm's way. Lucid gets on to BDD, and then now ShowMaker can't combo them. He does, but by the time he does, the Ziggs bomb is here. BDD does go down on the play, but Career does as well because he's super far forward as they're trying to salvage this. And again, Smash completely ignored. He has an Essence Reaver now. You know, he picked that one up a little bit earlier ago. Let's see about this play from Career.
I mean, there's no flash for BDD. He is going to hit the stun. Here comes ShowMaker. It's a lot of damage. Now we got Lucid coming in, and one by one, the troops line up, and they make a kill happen.
All right. He didn't have Tempered Fate. I was a little bit worried. There was no minion wave. They still are able to line it all up. Good play from ShowMaker, in particular on that one. This Career does help set it up. And it looks like maybe the Bagel Bites trumped by Fruit Cup in this situation.
Yeah, it did feel like a little bit, you know.
Quick and easy to serve, but healthier as an option.
Yeah, a little bit more variety, you know. It's not as straightforward.
Yeah.
Got a couple of different tastes in there. Like
much lower calorie option.
Yeah. All right, this K'Sante actually at this point is kind of hitting. And this time he doesn't have a Nautilus to help him out. And I think Perfect knows he doesn't quite have the damage. And there is the buffer on the Q3. Nicely done for the shutdown. Siwoo once again on the board.
Yep. Right when Perfect thought he pushed him away, Siwoo pulls him back in. And then kills him and then pushes this wave where there is no answer on the turret. Look at the Vi and the Bard. They might actually just fully take this turret out here. They have such a wave. No grubs though, so I suppose it might take a little bit longer. On the other side of the map, looks like KT are going to drop turret defense in order to get the Dragon, which is a second Dragon Ocean Drake. So I think I know which side of this I'd prefer. Is Dplus win on both sides of the map. They get this play here, on to BDD. This is the old Fruit Cup. Serve it to him. Nice and cool.
You have a slice of apple, then you get a little piece of orange.
Yeah. Don't need any graham crackers or anything like that. As K'Sante goes for the all-out here. Perfect is way up in the lane. Notice that there's no one here to defend him either. So he's just not played through it all as he's trying to make that aggressive play. So I think it's a bit on him on this one. So he dies, gets pulled back in. We saw the first-person view. Siwoo's starting to get pretty big, but I don't know if he's big enough to walk into the jungle alone. We'll have to retreat from this one.
Yeah. He is K'Sante at least. And does all the things K'Sante does. And ShowMaker's happy to have him on his team rather than the enemy team.
Dplus have a gold lead, Valdes.
Yeah.
It's starting to be a little scary. You know, it's 1,000 gold the advantage for Smash. Has been hard farming. Got his coal cashed in. He hit his Flicker Blade. He's got his glutinous grooves.
Yes. Tons of gluten in those. And I think that, you know, really the only issue if DK gets ahead into a mid to late game for them is that it's kind of just a one carry comp. So, and Smash is low range. And yeah, he's Sivir, but there's a lot of burst on the side of KT, so.
He's got Flash. Well, he will soon. He's got Spell Shield. He'll be all right. He's got a Cassante front line.
Yeah.
Siwoo's not ahead yet, but he's kind of taking over the game a little bit. Could be a 2-threat comp. I get what you're saying, Valdes. You don't like the Taliyah. The Taliyah doesn't do that much damage, all right? But the Taliyah, in this case, is the Fruit Cup healthy option that you are rejecting. It doesn't taste as good, but it is definitely pretty easy to set up. Now, we are going to see this Rift Herald just dropped on top of Siwoo's head here, effectively, in this side lane. He's just going to run away because ShowMaker, or sorry, BDD front-loaded the stun.
Oh, we're just, okay. That's pretty nice. I like that. That's pretty cute. Perfect gonna get super low, and now the Vi gets stunned underneath the Ziggs bomb, but he still gets away, and Effort doesn't have the damage. Meanwhile, in bot, KT are getting some structure value, at least.
KT had made the big winning play down there on the bottom side, but the stun is too early from BDD. He's just dropping damage, so the TP comes in. And then on the top side, they end up losing Perfect again. Had such a good start in this game. Still has a gold lead. But Dplus are playing through this really well. So it looks a little bit messy here on the outset because of turret aggro, but it's just a buffer here from Lucid. Has to flash. The Perfect cannot follow, and like you said, Effort does not have damage. Career can magical journey through the turret damage there and get away. Ooh! Sidestepping. The walking strategy. Don't you even bring it up, Valdes. Taliyah's still valuable here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 burn items into not a whole lot of health. I mean, I guess Perfect and Cuzz kind of not really. Actually.
The more time he burns, the more damage he's doing.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, he's kind of technically a second DPS threat you were looking for.
He does deal some amount of damage. Yeah.
He's also relatively safe with this build.
Yeah. Again, he creates the space that allows Smash to do the damage, but...
So you're saying he has a purpose?
If Smash dies, it's just not going to be enough to cut through KT.
Notice Smash has 0 deaths.
Yeah. In the laning phase.
I'm just trying to stop you at every turn about this. I'm sorry.
It's like the toddler that just keeps saying why. It's like... Because the Sivir scales up to 4 items and is really strong. But why?
Because Daddy said so.
Yeah.
Daddy Valdes said
I was
bringing us to 6 games.
Yeah. It still could happen. Especially between these two, you know, Legend group teams that sometimes blur the lines between Legend and Rise.
Well, Smash does have a 3rd item. Looking at a 3rd item. Well, 3rd component, rather. Looking at a 3rd item LDR. Not sure why a bow is the item Riot chose to be the one that pierces armor. I think the armor kind of counters that, but we know what it means.
Yeah.
And it means that the armor is going to be taken down low.
And Lord Dominic sends his regards, so there's that too. They're trying to get in onto Siwoo, but now that's the depth charge gone. And DK have a good kind of wide fan-out concave here. Smash going to come mid and clear the wave and be safe to do so.
Let's see if ShowMaker can kind of cut them in half here, the wall or something like that, because right now he's kind of isolated. He can't actually really get in here, and like you said, the setup for KT, they're making it hard for Dplus to actually rejoin as a 5-man unit, and that means they can't protect Smash. At the same time, KT aren't hitting the dragon, so you know they're not necessarily pushing Dplus into an uncomfortable spot either. ShowMaker's just waiting, biding his time. He wants that Weaver's Wall angle, and now Dplus have kind of gotten to a point where they have their own concave, and ShowMaker can help maybe rejoin.
Yeah, Cuzz had a good idea. Someone was in there. Knew it was ShowMaker. And now the engage comes in. They're going to catch the Nautilus, but the counter onto Lucid immediately. He just runs straight into Cuzz, who hops away and dies to ShowMaker's rocks. And now Effort's totally caught out. He goes down, and Dplus Kia, nice couple of kills into a Drake.
It's a big play from Siwoo there as well. Pushing on to Cuzz. And they want more here. At least going to get Tibbers.
stop some backs.
Yeah, and this turret I think is just going to go down. It's a big wave here. It is a Ziggs on the other side, so I suppose they'll take more than one auto onto that crystalline, which he doesn't even hit. So they will save the turret for now. But Cuzz used his W to the rocks there. Like you said, he knew something was in that bush, but doesn't actually have it here when he goes in. So he just instantly gets changed CC'd and has to go back. And then Siwoo and ShowMaker say no as he goes into the rocks and dies. The only reason why I think, Taliyah pretty viable here, Valdes. They will take out the drag.
It's good into Naafiri, it is.
Yeah, especially if you're with no W.
It was 5th pick, so kind of saw the whole comp and said, hey, this is pretty good in Naafiri Nautilus. I can get some big defensive value here.
BD, we
it's
said.
Also ShowMaker.
Yeah.
You remember that old Dom 1 gaming with ShowMaker and Canyon in the jungle?
Yeah, the flex pick Taliyah.
Yeah, so strong. They're both so good at this pick.
And we talked about BDD being on Victor in that early game and just not being able to make an impact. He's made a few big plays on this Annie, but the team has just never been able to maintain control. Even though they had it on that Dragon initially, they let it go. And so Dplus are once again able to punish. This goal lead for Dplus is growing. It's exploding. LDR done for Smash. And he's ready to send his regards. Or Dominic's. Not Smash.
Or Dominic's regards.
Yeah,
not Smash. It has nothing to do with him, actually. He just bought the item.
Smash really doesn't have anything to add.
Yeah.
He's just the messenger here.
And
look at that. He's sending right to Cuzz.
Yeah. If he picks up IE and doesn't die in this game, I mean, I don't know if KT really have an answer. Ziggs is going to do some nice burst damage, but if they can't lock anyone down, how can they do the damage in the first place?
That's a good point. It's a good question. Perhaps a rhetorical one in this case, but I think everything that you were worried about, Dplus kind of handled so far.
Yeah.
And my dislike of this Ziggs pick does continue, even though it did work earlier, and we did have Jiwoo get the kill onto Career with the satchel after Career went into Magical Journey right in front of him. I just don't know where the consistent damage output's going to come from to kill this Cassante. He did die twice when he was in lane and being aggressive, but since we started getting into team fights, he isn't really getting hurt that much.
They just keep going all in on a Cuzz, but that's still in a Fury. So, nice try.
Got him to hop. I don't actually know what that ability is called. They usually called it jump in this game.
Yeah, it's called jump up in the air and avoid things. I always forget that last part.
Maybe it's called trampoline?
Float could be a good one.
Dplus have prio over Dragon that hasn't spawned, and KT are just going to call that bluff and walk away. Siwoo on that bottom side play with ShowMaker wasn't able to secure the kill. ShowMaker now down Weaver's wall for a little bit longer here. They were on that Dragon and they had that prio because they were trying to make that bottom side play. Because they have a Sivir, even though Ziggs has great wave clear, the Sivir is just kind of constantly sending the waves at KT, so there's a permanent minion wave to deal with. There's always prio for Dplus. This is what Sivir does so incredibly well, but you've got Taliyah too. Death Cap. Talk about, you're wondering about if that Taliyah is going to have damage. Getting very close. 2 rods in pocket.
Yeah. To be fair, this build is much more damage focused than some of the other builds we've been seeing, which have been like Rocket Belt Rylai's, and it's like, well, you're really committing to the bit on being very supportive.
Util Taliyah.
Yeah. But, yeah, ShowMaker's definitely going to be dealing some amount of damage, especially there aren't a whole lot of tanks on the side of KT.
All right, KT are starting to get some prio. Double control, triple control word vision control on all entry points. The Cassante side lane is kind of real in this game, and BDD does have TP to join. We do see, in fact, Siwoo's coming first, wrapping around as Lucid eats a bunch of damage. Do you think they can kill Smash in this fight? I think that's the crux of this entire team fight, which might be game-defining, even though it's not Soul, is this Dragon fight when we're at 2-2. Let's see. Do you think they can kill him?
I mean, if they set up like this and they're all in the banana brush, it's very obvious, right? They're all just kind of stacked there. They have a Nautilus. The engage is very straightforward. and so it can be read pretty easily by Dplus Kia and by Smash.
I don't think they can kill him.
Oh, trying to engage actually is DK. As Death Charge does come down, the wall doesn't really do a whole lot, but gets the knockback on a perfect as they both go golden at the perfect time. Career kind of helping him out, but you see ShowMaker on the run here. Cuzz finally able to take him down as we do get the hook in, but guess who's still alive? It is Smash until the very end as the Q gets over the wall, and it will be DK with the ace.
It's a bit of a messy engage from Dplus. A Tempered Fate a little awkward, but they're able to just cut through because KT has no damage throughput, like none. It's Ziggs and Annie. They need to be the ones fighting first, but Dplus get the engage off. Effort defensively ults Lucid, and the Ziggs bomb is dropped. Now who's going to do damage? Look at Jiwoo trying to lob Q's in. He's not doing anything here. Finally, takes out the enemy jungler, but Smash just eats all of the engage. It's not enough damage, no way to kill him. He's level 16, and he's lobbing Q's over the wall, picks up a double in the fight, and I think that was the decisive team fight of this game. As Baron is up, Dplus have such a lead now. Going to come over here and control this space around it. ShowMaker does not have his Weaver's Wall, so that's not a tool they have to make sure they can look for a turn here. But, I mean, there's so many flashes down for KT after the last fight. Cuzz, BDD, and Jiwoo don't have their flashes, and Cuzz is the notable one if we are looking for a Baron contest here, because he's going to want that. If he wants to go into the pit, it's going to be a one-way trip. And, yeah, Smash, he's big.
He's second in terms of XP, which is kind of crazy for an AD carry, but Sivir ain't no normal AD carry. Spending a lot of time alone, clearing waves, getting XP, not dying as well, so a lot of time spent on the map.
Edge in terms of the item and the inventory.
Get on to career. He is in a bit of trouble, but he does go golden himself. Now we got a TP behind. TK do want to fight for this one, even though it's a bit of a scrappy one. As Siwoo gets in behind BDD, gets the kill on a Bard, and immediately dies. Jiwoo's 1v1ing the Sivir. That's not going to work out. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have a GA here. Cuzz eventually might blast Cone away, to my chagrin, but he's probably still going to die at the end of the day. Buys a little bit of time. And ShowMaker will eventually get him to float into the air and take him down. So that should be the Baron here for Dplus Kia.
And that's why Fruit Cup, the better option than Bagel Bites.
It just feels so much better.
Yeah.
So healthy.
Yeah, no, it was the finesse game from Dplus. BDD tried to just put it in the microwave in this one, but as you guys will see here, Effort tries to go in on the play. They get Magical Journey to buy space. And look at the collapse. Here comes the Cassante. And look at this. Lucid gets the engage to help heal, then gets on top of BDD. As Career dies on the top side, no one is touching Smash, which is probably why Jiwoo was trying to get on top of him, because he's like, well, I've got damage. Maybe I can take this guy out. No. This get like completely... I mean, Dplus are running circles around KT in this fight because they have so much map control. KT, everything they're trying to do here is desperate. As they send the Jayce bottom lane, he is the only survivor. And GA up for Lucid, Baron buff. I think the Taliyah stocks are going up, Valdes. I know you know them. I know you're not a big fan.
No, it's...
I think it might be back in the
I'm
meta.
fine to have a discussion about it. It's just, you know, my initial impression of the pick over the last week or so has not been great.
I know, I'm just bullying you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's what you got to do, you know?
This game has just not been interesting. Fruit Cups and Bagel Bites.
What about Eggos, though? You ever have Eggos?
Well, even though I do prefer waffles, I only enjoyed Eggos under the age of 10, I think.
Yeah.
And then otherwise,
I like the taste of the maple syrup more than anything else.
Yeah, I think they had to be chocolate Eggos. Ooh. Choco chip.
Oh, okay. ShowMaker, he's in a little bit of trouble, but he got the wall down and he created space, and now they're going to take down this mid turret. Meanwhile, Siwoo totally untouched. You had a good call on the Cassante pretty early in this game, especially when KT didn't get far enough ahead that nobody's just able to kill this
Nobody
guy.
can kill him. Nobody can kill anybody. They can't kill Smash, especially. Yeah. 0 deaths still. That was why I was asking that question earlier. Can they kill Smash? I don't think they can kill Smash. I don't think they will kill Smash a single time in this game, is what it's looking like. It looked like that a long time ago, but now he's extremely fed and has GA, and he spell shielded that shock blast, so it's looking really unlikely at this moment in time.
Yeah, the Sivir was picked after the Jayce and the Ziggs, and does not really take damage from either of those champions. And now every inhibitor is going down. Everything that KT own is being taken away from them, bit by bit, as the turrets will fall and Effort's got to make a play. But the spell shield comes in and it's desperation. It's understandable. Dplus Kia come in and they look even better against KT this time around. As they beat them last week, looks like they'll beat them once again, this time in a 2-0 fashion as the Nexus falls. And they are very happy with this victory.
Career turning this game around a little bit. Had a bit of an error in the early game, but KT just completely outclassed